Hello there! Yes, and welcome to my kitchen. Yes, this is my kitchen. It's small like me, and that's okay. I love it. I actually love this kitchen. I love this countertop. I love the countertop. I love the cupboards. And I've decorated it the way I love decorating. I love Marilyn Monroe. I love cameos, so I got those there. I collect little teeny tiny tins. I love my table. Love my tablecloth. I love my kitchen. It's great. I mean, the only thing that isn't so great is that I don't have an oven. So when I have to do something like baking, I have to go upstairs and borrow my dad's oven, but he's okay with that. So, but yeah, it's small like me. So I like my kitchen, and I usually don't bring people into my inner sanctum of my kitchen. So today is a special day, because I wanted to do something a little special, a little different, something I've never done before, and I'm gonna do it right here with you. So eek! Let's hope it works out. It should. Seems pretty easy. So, the thing that I'm going to be doing today that I've never done before is making ice cream. And if anybody knows anything about me, I love vintage. I'm a collector and I love history, so ergo, I love things that are vintage. I've got so much vintage clothing, vintage jewelry, and this was a gift from my aunt and uncle. They had it in their home since the 1980s. That's when this was made. This was the 1980s. And they said, well, we never use it, and you like old stuff. Do you want it? And I'm like, hells yeah, I want it. It's vintage. So... So was in their cupboard. They gave it to me. I put it in my cupboard, and then I forgot about it. So the other day when I was looking for something else, which is always the way you find something, right? Not what you're looking for, but something else. I found this and went, oh yeah. So I'm making ice cream today. Well, now on the back it says delicious ice cream in 15 minutes. It seems pretty simple. It's just like you put the stuff in, you crank it, and voila, you get ice cream. So, and they've got this really awesome cartoon there, right? So I figure if the cartoon boy can do it, so can I. So the only thing I'm going to be making is vanilla. They have this other recipe for juice slush, which I have no desire to make. But the vanilla ice cream seems pretty simple. And we'll give it a shot. Who knows? It might be fantastic, or it might taste terrible. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. Okay, so I have got the ingredients out, and I'm just gonna mix them up soon. And basically, I'm gonna take all these things out of the box here, and I've written the instructions down on a piece of paper because I don't want to wreck the box. Yes, I am one of those kind of collectors. Don't want to wreck the box. Don't want to wreck the box. So... So we're going to put this aside, take the things out of it, and then just follow the instructions on the paper. I mean, it's not much. It seems pretty easy peasy, so here's hoping. So one of the first things they said to do was to take this out, which is the cooler thing, and put it in the freezer. And it said put it in the freezer, I think, for a few hours or something like that, or overnight. And I've had it in there for several days, so it's really cold. And then you just put it in this little cup here, like that. And then you take the mixer thing, put that in. And then once you pour the ingredients in, you cover it up, and that's got the little hand crank on it. So let's go from there. Let's start mixing stuff up. All right, well, if anybody still doubts my love of vintage, there's my mixing bowl. Anybody remember those? They're old Pyrex ones. I've got 3 of them. There's the white and green. I've got the green on white, and I've got another one. I can't remember what color it is right now. And not only that, here's my mixer. This was my great-grandmother's. Oh, I don't use it very often, but it makes me think of her. And, you know, plus it's cool. And it's vintage! Right, so it's calling for a 1/3 cup of cream. So we got some cream there. Get my spatula. Make sure it all comes out. And 3 tablespoons of milk. Whoops. Okay. Maybe 3 1/4 tablespoons of milk. We won't fill this one all the way to the top. There we go. Yeah, and it's milk in a bag, so that should show you where I'm from. And more vintage. We got some old Tupperware. It was my mother's. Oh my goodness, since I was born, so that's a long time ago. But they're calling for 3 tablespoons of sugar. Actually, I love these things. They're sealed. They're great. I love this sugar container. So 3 tablespoons. We got 1. And 2. And 3. See? Sealed! Woohoo! 1 egg. Oh, I cannot crack eggs right. I think one time I was able to crack an egg with one hand, and I got little tiny hands, so for me that was quite a feat. I was like, yeah! And a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. So let's not do with the vanilla that we did with the, the milk. There we go. Perfecto. Woohoo! Now it says to mix well, so we got our mixer, and I'm going to mix it well. It smells good, whatever. It smells really good. That looks pretty mixed. I don't know. You never know. How much is enough, right? So how much mixing is enough mixing? Okay, so now it says to put this stuff in the container that has the frozen thing in it. So do not screw up. Do not screw up. Yes. And we use the trusty spatula again. It's like a, Weird Al Yankovic Spatula City. I don't know if anybody's seen the movie UHF, but there's like an ad, and on a there's a fake ad, and it's for Spatula City, and it's a store that just sells spatulas. And every time I say the word spatula, that's what I think of. I also think of a restaurant that used to be up north. I was driving to a friend's house one time, and it was literally just a restaurant called the Spatula Restaurant, and I just loved the name so much that I had to stop and visit it on my way to my friend's house up north. And crazy, it was the day that I got there, it was like the last day it was going to be open. It was closing the next day, so I was like, what? I just made it. So I got to see the Spatula Restaurant, and of course I took pictures. And why is this not going on? So I finally got the latch to go back on, or the crank. So it says here to give it 2 turns and then wait 2 to 3 minutes. So, oh my. 1 and 2. So now I've actually got a timer, and I've got it for 3 minutes. So it's so funny, these vintage bowls that were my grandmother's. It was so funny. It was several years ago now, but I went out onto the back porch because they used to live. My grandparents used to live in an in-laws ensuite attached to the house, and I went out onto the back porch, and their back porch was attached to ours, and I saw the set of 3 of these vintage Pyrex bowls, and I was like, Grandma, why are there Pyrex bowls outside just sitting there? And she's like, I'm gonna throw them out. I never use them. They're ugly. They're from the 70s. Who wants them? I'm just gonna toss them in the garbage. And I'm like, you're gonna toss them at me. That's what's gonna happen, because I'm taking them. And she's like, you really want them? I'm like, yeah, I want them, and I'm gonna use them. So she's like, yeah, okay, sure. If you really want them that bad, go ahead, take them. So I was like, yes, score. So we've done the 3 minutes. So now we're going to turn it 2 more times, which is what it says. It's actually really hard to turn. 1. I don't want to break it. And 2. There we go. And now it says 2 more times every 2 to 3 minutes. This is the continue to turn the handle 2 times every 2 to 3 minutes. It says the less you turn, the more the Donvier works for you. And Donvier, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, is the name of the company that created this wonderful ice cream maker. So let's give it another 2 to 3 minutes and see what happens. Okay, I cranked it a few more times, and it's still a little soft, so it's soft ice cream. But I will put it back in the freezer after I'm done here. But here it is. Taste test. Very first time trying this. Let's see if it's any good. Oh my god, that's actually really good. Oh my. This is good. And it's good because I don't really eat a lot of ice cream all at once, so I'll be able to put this back in the freezer, and yeah, this is good. So yeah, I highly recommend if you can get a hold of one. I've seen them on sale on eBay. A Donvier ice cream maker. If you just like having a little bit of ice cream at a time, which I do. And if you like vanilla, unfortunately it's not vegan friendly. It's got milk and cream and egg in it, but so I'm a vegetarian, so I can eat that. Not vegan friendly, but it is vanilla and it's really, really good. And you could add like sprinkles or chocolate or maple syrup, which is my love. I love maple syrup. Okay, I'm gonna stop eating this now. I'm gonna take it up and show it to my dad, see if he likes it. It's vanilla. It's vanilla ice cream, so it's very, very good. And he likes vanilla ice cream, so I'm pretty sure he'll like it too. And yeah. So I made ice cream for the very first time. I remember as a little girl, I know my parents, they had like a huge hand crank one. It was about this big. It was a hand crank ice cream thing. And it actually cost more to make the ice cream than it was to just go buy a little container of ice cream. So they did it once for the novelty of it, and then they never used it again. And I think that was back in the early 80s, and then I think maybe by the early 2000s they finally got rid of it. But it was a huge giant one, and I remember there was ice cubes that went in there, and they all got everything got chopped up and ground up and everything. And not like this. This was very, very, very simple. And like I said, if you like vanilla ice cream, go for it. So yum. So I am taking off now. I have to put this in the freezer or I'm going to eat it all, and I don't want to because then I'll get very, very sick. So I will be signing off for now, and I wish you all well, and just remember that every life is full of stories. It doesn't have to be the most exciting story in the world. It could be just simple as making ice cream. It was a fun story. I enjoyed sharing it with you. You hold the pen to write the most amazing life story. Don't let that pen run out of ink. Bye, everybody.